Right. All right, 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 all right. Let's get into this. Hopefully we are live right now. First ever live show for the Sanity stream. Oh, I'm loving it. Loving it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Sanity stream with Lucius Cole. Today we got a nice little spicy little podcast for you. Hopefully you enjoy it. It has been an absolute meltdown over at the DNC. Extremely low production quality. I really don't know who runs their IT department over there, but Godspeed to you, sir. Because if you aren't actively trying to make this into a total joke, I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean, you're making this so. I'm loving every second of it. But with that said, let's get straight into it, boys and girls. So, I don't know if you've heard this story, but it is absolutely magnificent. Goodyear tires here in America is getting boycotted. And you're probably wondering why. Goodyear. Let's read the article. From the Post Millennial, Goodyear apparently bans employees from wearing MAGA and pro-police attire, but BLM is A-OK. Now, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just me, but if I was running a multinational corporation, I would think that a dress code that was apolitical on every front would be the best policy. I don't know what it is about companies involving themselves in these agendas, because you are only taking your customer base and cutting them in half. But I can't say I blame them. You look at a lot of these cities, you look at Chicago, you look at New York, you look at Seattle, you look at Portland. If you do not actively participate, if you do not, Louisville, another great example. If you do not actively participate, if you do not put boards up and signs up that say, please don't hurt me, Black Lives Matter, please don't hurt me, Black Lives Matter, they will destroy your store. They will rob you, they will burn your store to the ground, and then they will call you a Nazi while they're doing it. Makes absolutely zero sense. But hey, this is America, right? This is what we're doing. So, take a look at this. Nice little image here. Zero tolerance. Acceptable. Black Lives Matter. And LGBT attire. Unacceptable. Blue Lives Matter. All Lives Matter. MAGA attire. And political affiliated slogans or material. Now, one little caveat that maybe you didn't notice there on the unacceptable part is it says MAGA attire, but then right under it, it then decides to say political affiliated slogans or material. Wouldn't that be covered under MAGA attire? Why did they go out of their way to write MAGA attire when that's already covered in the political affiliated slogans or material? That's right! Because this is political propaganda. This is Marxism 101. Rules for thee, but not for me. This is insane. What are we becoming? You know, and it really, Ben Shapiro talks about this a lot. He thinks that the U.S. is simply going to become so polarized that we are literally going to have businesses based on our political affiliation. So you'll have your coffee shop that you go to if you're on the left, your coffee shop if you go to if you're on the right. You'll have your tires you buy if you're on the left, your tires you'll buy if you're on the right. I mean, is this the world we really want to live in? Does every single thing that is created need to be politically associated with? No! What does Goodyear do? They make tires! So why don't they do that? Novel, I know. Novel. So Donald Trump goes in and says, hey, time for a boycott. Now, I can't even say I'm for this, but I feel like it would have naturally happened as an organic movement anyway. I mean, if you look at a couple of the companies in the past that decided to jump in on the woke brigade, companies like Nike, who lost about $4 billion from the previous year. If you look at Gillette, who is just hemorrhaging money right now after their Attack on Men in their commercial. I mean, this is just insane. These companies should just be neutral. Just be smart and be neutral. Nuts. All right, let's go on to the next one. Woo! Okay. Now, I talked about this briefly yesterday. Obviously, the photos of Bill Clinton on the Lolita Express. There's the Lolita Express right there. What's the Lolita Express? Jeffrey Epstein, the infamous man who suicided himself. This was his nice little private jet where he flew on with Bill Clinton apparently 26 or 27 times. Insane. And there's Mr. Epstein himself with Ghislaine. Nuts. But the reason why I brought this up wasn't actually for this particular story. I don't know if you're watching the DNC, but like I was saying before, things are just nuts. Bill Clinton decides to step out and try to target Donald Trump about the way he presents himself in the Oval Office. Bill Clinton, who was literally getting blowjobs under his desk in the Oval Office by Monica Lewinsky, is now somehow, in some way, going to lecture us and lecture Donald Trump about how to be more presidential. Unbelievable. Pot, meat, kettle. Insane. It continues on. The DNC speakers are nuts. Colin Powell. WMDs in Iraq. We've got to go. Our nation was hurting. The Twin Towers bombed. Or planes hit, bombed, down. Destruction. Pentagon smashed into. Thousands of dead Americans. People look to the government for guidance. Hey, you have the CIA, you have the NSA, you have the FBI, you have this geopolitical network. Tell us what's the best action. Iraq, where we are still today in varying degrees. We are still in Iraq to this day. Insane. This man and the decisions that he made and led up to George Bush got hundreds of thousands of people killed. And he is going to lecture Donald Trump about working with dictators. Oh, Jesus, I don't know. Kim Jong-un wouldn't even talk to President Barack Obama. What are we doing, folks? Do we not want peace, or do we want peace? Their ideas of peace is warheads on foreheads every single time. It's their only answer. They have no other answers. Diplomacy? What's that? I can bomb them. I can kill them. Then I won't have to debate. I won't have to make concessions. I won't have to, work together as nations do. It's nuts. These people are sick. Telling us that, hey, this man going with dictators. North Korean tensions, the lowest in my lifetime. Brings Iran, which was a complete and total terror network, to its knees. They are nothing. They're a nothing burger at this point. We just took on 4 of their oil rigs that were trying to head to Venezuela. They're nothing now. And then there was a historic peace deal with the UAE and Israel, a place that I have been to both. I've been to both of those countries. And now it's official. It's out in the open. Hey, we are on peaceful terms. We have a non-aggression pact. We are going to trade with one another. It's insane. What are we doing, folks? Listening to these people. We've listened to these people. And what happens every single time? Dead Americans. Dead Muslims. The world hating us. Donald Trump wants to bring us back to a World War II type era. After America defeated the Nazis, America was seen in such high esteem. If you went to another country and told someone that you were American, people would stand up and say, wow, you live in the greatest country in the world. And because of years of Bush and Obama, both of them, bombing and killing people in the Middle East and everywhere in the world, because of that, when I go to another country that may not be very pro-American, I have to tell someone I'm from Australia or Canada. It's a joke. Where is the pride? Why are we bombing these countries? We got rid of ISIS. ISIS is basically de facto gone. And this guy was one that helped create the situation for it to spiral into Manchester City bombings, trucks riding through Paris on Bastille Day, killing hundreds and maiming hundreds of people, women and children. It's disgusting. And then these people think they have the right to lecture us about foreign interference. Get out of my face. It's disgusting. These people are a joke. Next. Man, it's like the DNC just sputtering their wheels, simply unable to keep this ship afloat. It is literally clown world here. Like I said before, Bill Clinton talking about how we must bring the Oval Office and show a more positive image to the world. Colin Powell saying about, diplomacy and having a good foreign way of interacting with other leaders. Kills hundreds of thousands of dead Iraqis. Whatever, right? And now, this one's, I guess, a little bit lighter note. Elizabeth Warren. She is in... I can't even believe this guy. She is in here representing the Native American caucus. The woman who lied about being Native American, used it to get into her Ivy League school. Does a DNA test, finds out that she's 1024th, possibly, maybe Native American, not quite sure. Unbelievable, folks. This is what we're getting to. So what do you get? Obviously, you're going to get people who they call trolls. You know what I would like to call these people that go into the chat room?
You can feel the difference. Along with the Native Women's Caucus.
They delete the chat room because they know that they will not be able to survive the barrage because of the hypocrisy. It's insane. And just to cement my point, let's take a look at Elizabeth Warren's book of 1984. Pow Pow Chow. Ladies and gentlemen, we can do better. We deserve better, and we can do better. This is insane. These are the people that want to lead us. Lies after lies after lies after lies after lies. Final one I'm going to end with is John Kerry. Again, going on the foreign policy about how great John Kerry was and how we were so peace-loving and everything was so great. Map shows where President Barack Obama dropped his 20,000 bombs. More bombs dropped than any president in the history of the United States. Outgoing U.S. leader carries out 3,000 more strikes in 2016 than the year before. So he was doing 17,000 in 2015. I voted for Obama in 2008. Hope and change, peace, closing Guantanamo Bay, bringing our troops home. Did any of that happen? None of it happened. These people are empty suits. And I don't understand. It's like every 4 years, people just forget. We're talking about people dying, hundreds of thousands of people dying, and the world hating us, hating Americans. What if you were from another country And you're like, oh, there's that America again, going in and bombing and killing a bunch of civilians. Guys, what are we doing? This is insane. Why are we listening to these people? These people are nuts. Absolutely bonkers. We can do better. We deserve better. John Kerry. You remember Syria? If you want to talk about a Democrat with balls, not real balls, but Tulsi Gabbard, she actually tries and goes to learn about what's going on in Syria. And there were two whistleblowers, which were brushed off by the FISA courts when they were trying to expose the fact that the Syrian government did not chemically attack their own citizens. Two whistleblowers came out. And do you know what happened? They didn't let them bring that information out. They didn't want them to talk about it. And I'm getting this from a lefty. Jimmy Dore, I don't know if you've checked him out. Hyper progressive, I don't agree with him on everything, but the man's a truth teller. Check him out. Anomaly, another great source. Paul Joseph Watson, if you want to get your sanity back. Salty Cracker, dude is an absolute monster. He is a beast. Love his energy. Stop listening to the old lamestream media. They are corporate media. They generate their money and their clicks and their revenue and their ads where they sell their pills that the FDA approved. That apparently chloroquine simply cannot stand, even though it's been 65 years. FDA has approved it. Another story, but once again, nuts. Let's look at a picture. This is Libya. You wonder why there's tensions with North Korea. Libya and Gaddafi had WMDs, or at least WMD material, to create a bomb. There hasn't been a country that's been invaded that has had weapons of mass destruction for fear of retaliation. Look at what happened to these cities. You can probably imagine there used to be cars going up and down here, children running up and down the street, people going to work, trading. Next thing you know, your city's being bombed into oblivion. Because the United States decided that they wanted to back the rebels. And Libya is now a failed state. They don't have a government anymore. I'm not saying Gaddafi was a great guy. I'm not saying Saddam Hussein was a great guy. That's not what I'm saying at all. What I am saying, though, is their countries were run better with a bloodthirsty tyrant at the helm. How insane is that? That a bloodthirsty tyrant was better able to run their country than the decisions of American foreign policy experts. Council on Foreign Relations. Bilderberg meetings. It's a joke. Open your eyes. It's not a conspiracy theory if it's an actual conspiracy. I say that again. It is not a conspiracy theory if there are actual facts to state that it's an actual conspiracy. It's a joke. Wake up. There's Pow Pow again. So we have Libya, we have Syria, and then of course we have the Wicked Witch of the West herself. And I just want to show you just how these people think of others and how these people actually treat others. And I want to think to yourself that if these people have this little regard for human life, do you really think for one moment that if it came to the American people upending them and taking away their power, they wouldn't do the same thing to us? Let's listen to the great virtuoso and great wonderful speaker, Miss Hillary Clinton.
So, I mean, that is the land of unconfirmed We came, we saw, he died.
We came, we saw, he died. Who else died? Oh, I don't know. A couple 100,000 Syrians, couple, tens of thousands of Libyans, whatever. Human life, whatever. Who cares? Who cares? And then Trump decides to make us energy independent. We are no longer in need of going into these countries to take the oil. And that was a big part of it. Trump says the quiet part loudly. And some people say, why would you do that? Why would you say the quiet? I want that. Do you not want that in your leader? If he's doing something that you think is shady, or maybe you even don't like the policy, at least he is stating it outright. Yeah, we were going there for the oil. We were going there for the oil. Do you know who has the most oil in the world? Venezuela. Think about that. Why are we having such a disagreement with Venezuela right now? Obviously, their government's nuts as well, but again, are we just going to do this over and over again? Is this America a force for good, policing all over the world and leaving death and destruction in our wake? Do you think that makes the world love us more? I don't think so. Let's wrap it up here. Pretty quick one. Operation Legend. If you haven't checked it out already, make sure to check out thedonald.win. That's right, thedonald.win. Fantastic website. It is basically the Reddit for Donald Trump and like-minded, liberty-minded individuals. Absolutely fantastic. Operation Legend statues, 9 cities, 1,000 agents, 75 million in additional funding. Police find and arrest the killer of Legend Taliaferro, who is the 4-year-old boy who was shot in his bed while he slept, and the operation is named after. So apparently they have already arrested about, the numbers have jumped around, but it's over 1,000 and less than 1,500. So let's just take the median. They've done about 1,200 people. 1,200 violent criminals, gang members, traffickers, murderers. 90 of those 1,200, so nearly 10% of the people that they have arrested were from homicide. That's why they were arrested. Homicide. Killing someone. Getting these people off the streets. They keep saying defund the police. Look at the crime rates that's going on in Chicago, New York, Portland, Seattle. Democrat, 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 Democrat. It's a joke. What are we doing, folks? This is disgusting. This is absolutely disgusting. Are all cops wonderful people? No, there are bad cops. So you know what we should do? We should find those cops and remove them from the situation. If you have a school that's doing very, very bad, they're not educating the students properly, they are not making sure that they know the curriculum, they are not going out of their way to make sure that these children succeed, would it make sense for us to take money from that school? Would things improve if we took money from those schools? Or, I don't know, would they get worse? I'm going to go with the latter. It's called common sense. I don't know. I'm going to go with the latter. Police need more funding. I'm all for demilitarizing the police. I'm totally open to that. I think a militarized police force is insane. I don't want to live in an authoritarian country. I'm all for demilitarizing the police. I'm not for defunding them. That is ridiculous. You're just going to have more crime, more murders, more homicides, more New Yorks, more Chicagos, more Seattles, more Portlands. This is nuts. We can do better. And we deserve better. Ree! The Ree is strong tonight, folks. This was a quick one. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comment section below, what do you want me to cover in future videos? This is the Sanity stream. I'm jumping around with names with what I want to go with, but I think we're kind of moving into something. But I'm gonna keep doing this. I'm gonna aim doing these podcasts at least 4 days a week, with additional videos where I talk about specific subjects. And then on top of that, I'll be doing videos where it's parodies of things if I'm not being fact-checked by Facebook for claims that I didn't even make. The censorship is real, folks. Join the army. Join the coal factory. I think that's what I'm going to call it, the coal factory. We're miners. We're workers. We burn stuff. Not like Black Lives Matter burn stuff, but, we burn the hearts of our enemies. And then we calcify those hearts so that they will join the side of the light. Okay, we'll go with that. That being said, please make sure to like, subscribe, and or comment. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace. God bless.